What's up, guys? This is Alex, aka Deacon from Beyond the Void Horror Podcast, and today we're going to be doing a sort of a haul, a bunch of movies, Blu-Rays, DVDs that I found at the Dollar Tree, and you actually might be able to find for yourself. And you're going to want to see what's inside this, so stick around. All right, so I saw a couple videos online for some people who like basically collect movies. I think it was Coolduder who actually showed my girlfriend, and she showed me, and then we rushed to like two different freaking Dollar Trees. If you've never been to a Dollar Tree, it's essentially a store where everything's $1. For the most part. Sometimes they have deals for even less. She actually went out and bought some stuff one day, and then I was like, wait, there's a hell of a lot more. So we went another place and got some. So I'm going to show you today what I got at the Dollar Tree. So we're going to kick it off. Some of these things, by the way, that I already do own and will probably do a giveaway for. So if you are not following our podcast, you can go to longlivethevoid.com and sign up for the VIP club. We do giveaways on there, and we will be doing one soon. For now, I think we should keep this one just for US only. So sorry, our fans outside of the US. So maybe US and Canada we could do. But let's kick it off. Let's see what we got here. So I got a secondary camera up here for you guys. So this is a DVD of the 2-disc collector's edition of Rutger Hauer's Hobo with a Shotgun. If you guys aren't familiar with this movie, this is where a hobo basically goes on a killing spree because the world is too shitty. Even though he's like a downtrodden guy who shouldn't give a shit about anybody, he actually seeks justice on these guys who are like going around wreaking havoc on it. You know, it's a DVD. I have the Blu-ray of this, but like I honestly don't think watching it in DVD is really that bad. So next up, let's see what we got. Now, I spent literally $25 or less on all these movies, guys. Obviously, some of these are horror, some of them are not, so just, you know, bear with me. We also have RoboCop on Blu-ray here. It is the Blu-ray DVD digital HD copy. Obviously, you're going to find these a lot of places for pretty cheap. To be honest, I wasn't a fan of the movie. You know, it's $1, so fuck it. You know? So, but anyway, they have these in there. Should have plenty of these left over if you've been thinking like, well, I hated the movie. It really upset me, but I'd like to have it anyway. It's $1. See what we got here. Oh, this was like really exciting for me. This is The Signal. This is a Canadian film that I absolutely fucking adore. I watch this every year. Me and my girlfriend both love it. It's essentially a anthology, but really not. It's not an anthology. It's an anthology done in the weirdest way possible. It's an anthology only because of the directors. There's 3 directors in it. In fact, let me look and see. David Bruckner, Jacob Gentry, and Dan Bush. So they essentially do one whole movie, so seamlessly from beginning to end, but 3 different sections so that they all direct, which I think is kind of genius. But I'll read you the back here. It's a New Year's Eve in the city of Terminus, and a chaos is this year's resolution. All forms of communication have been jammed by a mysterious transmission that preys on the fear and desire, driving everyone in the city to murder and madness. Which it really does. Like, each of these stories, it's pretty fucking crazy. And this right here is the lenticular cover, so if you can kind of see it, changes a little bit with a screamy face or something. Now this is just a DVD, but I'll be honest, like I may keep a copy of this for myself and give another one away, but I absolutely love this movie. You're gonna want to fucking sign up for our fucking VIP club. I hate to bring it up again, but That's the only way you're going to be able to get this copy. So I'm probably going to keep one for myself. If you have seen it, though, like, definitely sound off in the comments, because I'd love to hear from you, because I love this. This is like a really well done indie film. I hope that the directors get back together to do another movie. Fuck, I would love a sequel. And some of the fucking freak out moments that people have going crazy is hilarious, sometimes disturbing. There's a lot of gore in this, so definitely a great purchase. I bought 2 of them for fucking $2, guys. Like, I have a Blu-ray copy, but I just like the lenticular for collector's sake, you know. Next up, we got Go on DVD. Now, it looks like this is a Walmart, so I think that Dollar Tree is picking up some stuff from Walmart, at least Christina, I think. They're overstock, sort of, you know. This was like a kind of like a 90s movie about a bunch of kids who go and do drugs like ecstasy and shit like that. But it's actually pretty good thriller. There's like all these different stories that interject into one another, kind of like in that Tarantino-esque sort of way. I actually really like this movie. I don't even know if there's a Blu-ray on it, but it has a ton of actors in this movie. Really young, too. It's underrated, in my opinion. So if you haven't seen this, you can pick this up for $1 as well. Up next, what do we got here? Tiger House. This is sort of like a revenge film. I remember seeing this movie. I don't remember if I hated it or liked it, but I must have liked it enough because I bought it for $1. I mean, what are you really losing out on when you get it for a fucking $1? It says an intense thriller unfolds when a gang of armed robbers break into Kelly's boyfriend Mark's house to pull off a heist of a lifetime. The gang, led by Shane and Callum, have come to abduct Mark's father and force him to carry out a robbery on the bank he manages. Kelly must use every ounce of skill and courage to outwit, outpower highly trained adversaries. But yeah, this was actually, I remember this not being too bad. It's some pretty graphic stuff, and it's a get back film like a motherfucker. But anyway, I actually thought this was a really good deal for $1. I wouldn't even, I don't think it'd be too bad to buy this on Blu-ray even, but on DVD I have it. Let's see, what do we have next? We have Mitte, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this movie, but it is Blu-ray. It's one of Ben Stiller's directed films about this guy who's trying to find himself. It's kind of a feel-good movie in a way, in the not-so-quirky version of Ben Stiller. It's quirky movie, where he has these daydreams and he kind of like goes all over the place. Not too bad, but for $1, whatever. Okay, up next, we got this fucking 90s. I think it was a 90s film. EDTV. It was, it came out around the time of the Truman Show. It was like America was trying to say TVs rot your brain and, like, you know, you need to live your life. Basically, it was a movie about following this guy around his entire life and everybody being interested in like the reality TV show stuff. And it's got Matthew McConaughey in it, Woody Harrelson. It's not an amazing movie, but it's got some funny moments in it. I don't care about owning this on Blu-ray, but on DVD, fuck it. Next up, we got Fright Night 2, New Blood, which I honestly can't say that I've actually seen this. I like the first one. I think I might have started this one. This is the remake version, I'm assuming. Didn't look too good. Wasn't really into it that much. But, you know, for $1, I'll take a risk again. Watch it. It's $1. Blu-ray, why not? Next up, we got Howl. Kind of hard to see that one. We got Howl, vampire movie. I'm sure. Actually, I've had a couple people recommend this to me to check out. We had our fill of werewolf films recently. We went through the entire Howling franchise from start to finish, and you'd be hard pressed, by the way, to find anybody that's seen them all. There are people out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not some special person. All you have to do is watch them, but that may be a harder task than some. I figure at some point in time, I'll give this one a shot. It's called Howl. Let's read the back here. On a stormy night, passengers on the last train of London begin to panic after coming to a sudden halt. They soon realize there's something dangerous lurking in the forest. and it's stalking the besieged train and picking them off one by one. I actually remember the trailer on this, and I was like, this might be kind of good. So I picked it up on DVD, figured why not? I'll own it at least. I'm still one of those people that is okay with DVDs. So, okay, here's one. We got Andre Overdahl, who's doing the new Guillermo del Toro produced movie called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. He did a movie called Troll Hunter before this, which was kind of like a found footagey film about a guy who, several people who hunt trolls. And this is actually not a bad film. It's, you know, it's kind of heavy CGI, but it's done in such a way that it doesn't really bother me. And it's kind of cool to watch these hawking fucking beasts walking around while some guy is kind of hilariously hunting them. So it's actually not a bad movie. If you've never seen this, I think it's definitely worth $1 purchase. Another movie that was at the shop, I can't remember them all, guys, but there was a movie, Stuck, which is, I believe, a Stuart Gordon film that is about this guy who gets stuck in the middle of a window. I have it on Blu-ray on my shelf over here. It's actually, like some guy's like walking around, gets hit by this girl who's fucked up on drugs or drunk or something like that, and he gets stuck in the window, and she drives him back to the house, and there's all these hijinks about like how she's trying to hide, and she thinks he's just gonna die, and like it's this miraculous kind of true. It's actually based on a true story. So if you're interested, I would definitely pick that up, especially on Blu-ray. Now this is a Jessica Biel film called Tall Man. It's on DVD. I wasn't too fond of this, but Christina was okay with it. To be honest, this movie was really good up until the very end. I was really kind of drawn into the story, but the end was so mundane and typical and normal. It surprised me, but not in a good way. Like, oh, that's all it was? Still, there's some value to it, I would say. I think it's worth checking out. I believe it was like about this girl who's investigating. She's like a child worker, you know, she like checks up on kids, and there's like this missing report on something, and she goes to investigate it, and it seems supernatural, and then it changes all over the place. Let's see, what do we got now? Ah, yes. Joe Dante film called Burying the X, which I don't remember being too bad, and it's Joe Dante, so I'm gonna grab it, especially if it's a fucking $1. Got Anton Yelchin, the late Anton Yelchin, in it. I think it's about this guy. I can't remember exactly, but I think he like his girlfriend dies and he buries her and she comes back to life, and they didn't really have this great relationship, so he kind of falls in love with this other girl, and then his ex comes back to life. I remember it being kind of silly and kind of funny. It wasn't like a perfect film, but I think it's actually pretty decent. Enough for $1 at the very least. So if you see this one, I would definitely grab that. Up next, what do we got? Beneath the Darkness. This has got Dennis Quaid in it. Now, I don't really remember much about this. I just remember it was like this kind of horror movie or thriller or whatever. It says, in a quiet little town, funeral home director Mr. Eli, Dennis Quaid, is a respectful member of the community, but he has a terrifying secret lying beneath the ground. High school student Travis and friends think they've seen a ghost in the top window of Eli's house, but they decide to break in following night. Their lives take a murderous turn that will plunge them into a chilling battle for survival. Hey, you know what? Horror movie, $1. I don't remember, or I don't even know if I saw this, and if I did, it wasn't that memorable, but for $1, I got it. I'm a collector. What do you want? Also, up next, we got Mutant Chronicles. This is the director's cut. This is kind of weird because it has Thomas Jane in it, Ron Perlman, John Malkovich. I believe John Malkovich's role is a little different. It's kind of like a sci-fi movie about the future or whatever. But it wasn't terrible. I remember thinking it kind of flailed a little bit, but you know, a 2-disc collector's edition, director's cut. I'll watch this on DVD, you know, out of the blue sometime. So if you've seen any of these, by the way, guys, let us know in the comments below which one of these would be your ultimate buy. I would love to hear that. Up next. Now, I haven't seen this either. I have seen the show quite a bit. I watched a lot of it back in the day. I don't remember hearing too many good things about this one. Dragon Ball Evolution Z edition. So this is the mega edition of a bad movie. I personally am kind of a fan of bad live action films. I've found a lot of enjoyment out of watching them, not because it's a good movie, but just because I like watching clunky shit fall apart. I don't know if this is one of those, but one of our viewers for the stream, Plemke, he actually bought me the, I believe it's the Korean version of Dragon Ball Z, and it's ridiculous. So I kind of like thought of that and was like, well, I'll give this a shot. It's on Blu-ray. Let's check it out. Is it any good, guys? Let me know. I'd be curious. This is a no-brainer right here. Bronson. Found this with Tom Hardy. This is where Tom Hardy got his fucking start. This is where he blew up at the very least. Bronson is about a true story about this guy. It's like a kind of like a documentary. No, it's not a documentary. It's a movie done in a very artistic way with Tom Hardy as the lead actor. And it's about this guy in the UK who got arrested. He was like this fucking crazy guy. And he spent like 34 years in prison and 30 in complete solitary confinement. And this is kind of like the unfolding of his story, and it's really cool, man. Like, this is a really cool fucking film to get. I honestly would rather to get this on Blu-ray if there is a copy. I don't know. If you guys know, sound off in the comments below. But yeah, I love this movie. I haven't seen it in a while. I believe it's on Netflix, but to have a physical copy, I'll take it, especially for $1. I'll try not to say that every time, too, by the way, guys. So what do we got next here? We got, this is the season of Legit, which I forget, what's his name? Jim Jeffries, yes. It was one of his first TV shows. I'm kind of a fan of Jim Jeffries. I've been a fan of his, like, stand-up and stuff. He's a pretty edgy kind of Australian comic that says some pretty funny things, and he does lean a little bit politically as a TV show right now, I believe. That's like part comedy and edgy comedy, and kind of like a, I don't know, one of the Comedy Central things here. But this was the show before. It's the complete first season. I figured, what the fuck, you know, I'll give it a shot. I think I saw like a couple of these, but it's $1 on DVD. I thought it was a good deal. Bought it. Also, I got this on DVD. It's a Shia LaBeouf film, which most of you may be cringing at. And, you know, maybe some of you who see this might not like it either. But I actually thought this was a decent film. It's called Charlie Countryman. It's about this guy who, I believe he loses his mother or something like that. And he's, like, broke as shit. He doesn't know how to deal with his life. So he just takes the last remaining dollars that he has and goes to another country and, like, falls in love with this girl who's, like, in the mob or something, or she's got some, like, mob connections, or she's in trouble. I can't remember. But it's like a thriller, kind of drama thriller. I actually thought it was a pretty decent film. I'm not a huge Shia LaBeouf fan, so this one kind of proved me wrong on him a little bit. So if you're interested, I think for $1, it's worth watching if you're into thrillers and dramas. It's a little slow, but it's got some interesting stuff in it. It's kind of a love story, but it's also an action movie, so check it out. Up next, oh yeah, this one. Now, I can't confirm if this has it, and I probably should have checked it beforehand. This is The Adventures of Mark Twain. This is a TV series that came out by Will Vinton. It was like a claymation of all the different stories of Mark Twain. And I hope, and I don't know if it's on there or not, but I really hope they have the death one on there called The Stranger by Mark Twain. One of the most dark stories that you'll hear. In fact, there's like an entire scene where they visit Satan on his planet, in his realm, whatever. And they have some rather fucked up discussions. And this is a kid's show, guys. I just kind of have a little bit of nostalgia for that. I even sampled one of the things. Life itself is nothing, and you are but a thought, or something like that. Really dark, introspective shit that kids would never understand, by the way. But I thought this would be worth a shot to see if it's on there. If it is, I have it. If you've ever seen that, please sound off in the comments below. Some crazy shit in that. Here's one I haven't even seen either. It's called Hijacking. It's a film by Tobias Lindholm. It's a thriller movie, which I'm actually kind of into thrillers, so I figured I'd give it a whirl for $1. You know the drill. I keep saying it, I can't help it. It's $1. I should just say that as the title. Anyway, so this one is, it says the cargo ship MV Rosen is heading for the harbor when it hijacked by Somali pirates on the Indian Ocean. Amongst the men aboard are the ship's cook Mikkel and engineer Jan, who along with the rest of the seamen are taken hostage in a cynical game of life and death. With the demand of ransom on millions of dollars, a psychological drama unfolds between the CEO's shipping company and Somali pirates. And this one stars Soren Malling as his name, actually. But anyways, $1. You tend to take risks when it comes to that. The Woman in Black 2, Angel of Death. I can't remember. I think one of our old hosts on the podcast, Mike, who used to be on, he actually said that this was a scary movie, I believe, that he really enjoyed. And I figured, I would pick it up. I wasn't too fond of the first one, to be honest, although I know there are people out there who absolutely love these films, so I figured it'd be an easy risk. Okay, up next, we got a King Kong triple feature on DVD. I think it's DVD. Hold on. Yeah, definitely DVD. Okay. So I've been getting into the kaiju shit again, I've been watching some King Kong within the past couple of years. Not King Kong, but Godzilla. This one has the Peter Jackson version on DVD, King Kong. Also has King Kong versus Godzilla, which, is a classic. And we're going to be seeing an updated version of that in the coming months. So that's already filmed and ready to go, and we're going to be seeing that soon. I don't remember the date. And then it also includes this movie called King Kong Escapes, which is a G movie. The King Kong versus Godzilla is not rated too, so that's good. But yeah, I heard this is bananas, and not just in the gorilla way. Like one of our friends of the podcast and a director told me that this is a fucking great movie to watch because it's just silly. But yeah, check this one out, pick it up. At least for the King Kong versus Godzilla. Why not? We only got a couple more left, guys, so I'll share it with you. I saw this movie, The Lazarus Effect, and I don't remember exactly too much about it. I remember it being okay. I don't know. I don't remember. But it's a demon, infected demon kind of movie. I'll read you the back. A group of researchers led by Frank Mark Duplass and his fiancée Zoe have achieved the unimaginable, bringing the dead back to life. When Zoe is accidentally electrocuted in a horrific accident, Frank and his team use their experiment serum to resurrect her, but their attempts goes horribly wrong, unleashing terrifying powers within Zoe that put all of their lives in grave danger. Yeah, I think they were all doing this experiment like for their project or something like that, and I don't know, but I thought this was actually okay, so I picked it up. Last but not least, an old movie, I believe from the 80s, could be wrong. Yeah, 93, Rookie of the Year, which I do believe actually has a I think it might be on Amazon Prime Video or whatever, but this is about this kid who breaks his arm somehow. I can't remember how it is, but the way it heals back. And this is a guy, I believe he played baseball and was like kind of crappy at it. And all of a sudden he broke his arm and he was really sad that he couldn't play baseball anymore. But then when it heals, the tendons healed in such a way that he could throw a fucking ball as fast as like a professional baseball player, like 100 and some miles per hour. So this is kind of like this little tale about this kid. I figured, I remember thinking it was kind of fun. I remember watching it a couple of times when I was a kid. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's check it out and pick it up. So that's it, guys. That's everything that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. Now, not all Dollar Trees are going to have these, but if you, and there's plenty more that they had there that I did not get. I grabbed, let's see how many I have here. 25 actually on the nose. $25 for the whole thing. I mean, I could buy like one brand new fucking movie on Blu-ray for 25 bucks. I mean, what do you got to lose? Pick some of these up if you're a collector like me that just likes to watch movies, and also have them whenever you want to watch them, because a lot of these DVDs don't even come back out on Blu-ray or don't come out on fucking 4K, and you don't see them again. So you never know. You know, if you pick it up, you have it, and if you don't want it, you can always sell it, I'm sure, for more than $1. But yeah, make sure you check around the Dollar Trees if you're looking for these. A big shout out to Coolduder for fucking helping me out in getting these. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day. And if you want to win some of these, we're going to be doing a giveaway. You have to sign up for our podcast VIP email. It's called the VIP Club. You can go to Long Live the Void right here. .com. Just go to our VIP club section, fill out your information, your name, what country you're in, because this is only going to be applied to US and Canada. So but yeah, guys, I wish you the best of luck. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, long live the void.